Jared Polin, PhonosPhoto.com, and this is a preview video for the Canon PowerShot V1. Now, this is more of one of our old school style preview videos where we're kind of given information, but we don't have a ton just yet, and we think that it's important to put out a video about it. And when we do get our hands on it, we will go and take it out into the real world. Now, Canon reached out to us, Canon USA, and was like, look, there's something coming at CP+, but it's not officially being announced in the United States, but it's being announced in the Asian countries, but we didn't want you to get caught off guard, so here's some information you can go with. So we're giving you what we have, and if you have any questions, you can leave them down below and we'll try to answer those, or we'll answer those in future videos when we do get our hands on it. But if you are looking for more photos and information after the announcement, I'm sure the normal websites that talk about this stuff will have it from CP+. But we wanted to get this out at the announcement time, so we're gonna do it old school style, go over the specs that we have, and give you our thoughts. So like I said, it's the PowerShot V1. This is the PowerShot V10. It is shaped nothing like this. It is a point-and-shoot camera style. It's very similar to the G7X Mark III, but with a more deep grip now. Now, they call it the V1 because they're saying that V equals video, V equals vlogging, V also equals what, Steven? Vendetta. And it's basically going after Sony's ZV-1 line. Point and shoot, small, basic, but will get the job done. It's kind of an interesting camera with some of the specs that they gave us. But let's talk about what we do know. We know that it has a brand new 22.3 megapixel, 1.4 inch type CMOS sensor that is not stacked. Now you can think of that as being very similar to the dead Micro Four Thirds line, or the Micro Four Thirds sensor. This is more of a 2:3 aspect ratio, so it's basically the same size as Micro Four Thirds, but that is better than what's in Sony's ZV-1, which has just a 1-inch sensor. The point here is that it's much larger than what you find in a cell phone, and it's larger than what you find in the Sony ZV-1 because it's that 1.4-inch sensor. Now bear with me, the old school style of making these videos has me highlighting, you know, all the important stuff, aka everything, and reading it. We just had this call and we have a matter of hours to put this video together to then get this video out. So that's why, you know, I'm reading these notes and we don't have much to cover it up with at this point. But it does have a Digic X processor with dual pixel AF2 with the AF that's inherited from the R6 Mark II, and we know how good that is. Now, it doesn't have the new intelligent AF that you have in the R5 Mark II and the R1, but we know that the R6 Mark II already has fantastic autofocus. It has the IAF for animal as well as people, and just think it's going to be very good for video because that dual pixel tracking, especially the version 2, is great. Now, when it comes to the lens on this camera, you have a 16 to 50 millimeter full frame equivalent when it comes to your zoom. Now that's wider than what you find in a Sony ZV-1, which was a 24 to 70. Wider in this case for a video-centric camera that they want for vlogging and video creation is better. So it's the equivalent of 16 to 50 with an f-stop of f2.8 to 4.5, and it does have IS built in. Now, it does have a vari-angled touchscreen, and yes, it is a touchscreen that is fully functioning, unlike some of the older Canon cameras where they tried to save some money there, and it flips out off to the side. There is a headphone jack, and there is a digital hot shoe, which means you can use any of Canon's digital microphones, which I like to put into the hot shoe because they're small, they're easy, you don't have any cables to worry about, so you put that there and you get better audio. What you will not find is an EVF. Most of these cameras are meant for people that are just either vlogging, and if they're gonna take stills with it, most of the people today just like to hold it out in front of them. I don't agree with that. I would love to see an EVF, especially in bright light situations, if I'm trying to do video, being able to have something that my eye can be put into, but this is what it is. It's a place they can save some money, and it's not really a deal breaker because you flip out the screen anyway when you're vlogging for the most part and don't need the EVF. I like EVFs, I want them in all my cameras, but I get what they're going with. Now in terms of video features, you have full width 4K 30 oversampled from 5.7K. They did make a point to say that you can do 4K 60 with a 1.4 time crop, but what is awesome about this camera is it has a built-in cooling fan, which gives you 2 hours of record time in 4K 60, which means it's probably infinite record time when it comes to just shooting your 4K 30 or your 4K 24. Now, of course, you might be able to record for super long periods of time, but it's determined by how large of a card you have in the camera. You do have a single UHS 2 SD card slot in this camera. You can do C-Log 3 when you're shooting, and there's some new movie setting moods that they talked about, as well as filters. I mean, these are the things like holding out the camera, to holding out your whatever you're talking about to the camera, focusing on that, then moving it, focuses on you. Then you could do the different moods, not the things that I'm personally going to do. You could do skin smoothing, which is like, I don't want skin smoothing. I want to look like me with this beautiful face right here. This is beautiful. It doesn't need smoothing. Let me jump in here real quick and say, I hope you're enjoying this V1 preview, but I want to show you FroPak 4, our presets, in action on this photo right here, starting with Blue's Clues, followed by Brooklyn, which looks incredible. We've got C41, Copper Tone with extra bronzer. We've got High C, Kaleidoscope, Mel Brooks, Saltwater Taffy, Thick, and Wet Hot American Summer. But my all-time favorite from FroPak 1 is Skittles. With one click, we go boom. But the other cool thing about our presets is that they work on mobile. So if you shoot JPEGs or RAWs and you send them over to your phone, you can edit them with all of our FroPak. So look, if you're tired of other people's presets sucking, ours don't suck. They speed up your workflow and they give you a great starting point. To check them out right now, head on over to froknosphoto.com/FroPak4. While you're over there, you can play with the sliders to see the befores and the afters. And if you decide to pick them up right now, they are currently on sale. Or if you want to save even more, you can get the Grand Slam bundle that is FroPak 1, 2, 3, and 4, and of course it includes Skittles. Now, let's get back to the V1. Now, this is good to have in a video-centric camera, is built-in 3-stop ND, which is great for when you're outside. It helps give you the wider aperture without going to say f22, making everything in focus, because you're cutting down on the amount of light, which allows you to shoot at wider apertures, which makes your vlogs and your videos look more professional and much better. There's a movie photo quick toggle. That's how you go from video to photo. That's there on the camera. And in terms of stills, you can shoot RAW up to 30 frames per second with the electronic shutter. That's something that if you're gonna shoot photos with, I mean, this isn't really a photo camera, but I mean, if someone's buying a camera that's a point and shoot in this day and age that can do video and it can do photos minus the EVF, then so be it. You can do USB-C with live streaming, so I'm assuming you could probably charge the battery through USB-C, and it's an LPE17 battery. Now, they didn't give us pricing, they didn't give us a release date. That's why we're saying that it's more of a development announcement. When Canon USA is allowed to give us more information and disseminate that, we will be sure to do that. If I have more information by the time that I do the photo news fix for the week, I will of course fill that in there as well. Our guess is that it's going to be $899. I mean, just think anywhere from $800 to like $1,000 for a point and shoot camera. That's right in line with what Sony did. Their ZV-1 is $800. I think things have gone up from there, and we'll see. We'll see what the pricing is. What questions do you have? Leave them down below. How much do you think this point and shoot should be or will be? If they don't announce it at the time that this comes out, we'll have to wait and see. So again, old school style preview video. We'll bring you more when we go hands-on with it, but I thought it was interesting because I'm looking for something to carry around that will allow me to shoot video of myself to help bring you more vloggy style videos when I'm out in the field by myself and not just using 360 cameras or the camera up on my forehead. Just something with a little bit better quality. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys very much for watching. Jared, Polin, froknosphoto.com. See ya.